Yeah, well, I want to report first.
Oh, okay.
Your ramp back up into practice. Introduce yourself to the camera.
Hey, I'm Connor Black from Houston. I'm a golf instructor and a pro, trying to do both. Trying to just do the pro thing, but still doing the instructor thing. So if you want to see me in Houston,
there you go.
Hit my profile and send me a DM.
Okay, so yeah, break it down. Ramping back up into play.
Yeah, just honestly, like I've only gotten in a couple sessions in January.
Yes. 2 practice sessions.
Yeah, but my workouts have been going back up, which is good. So I'm getting close back to the strength level I was at. The only thing that I wanted to talk about, I sent you a video from Xander Schauffele's takeaway, and he takes it pretty in as well, tends to more. And I've had a student that does something severely like that, and I had some success with him on the first 3 feet, having it not pre-lift, but then feeling a lot of lift in the midsection of the backswing. And he's hitting it well like that. And I was thinking, well, shoot, should I feel something similar? Because, you know, last season, there's a lot of this feel on my takeaway. And it's sometimes like I would go hard and then just get really lazy with it. So it'd be kind of this type of look, where it looks kind of like a triangle almost. And I was just seeing if maybe I modify that this year with either just be okay with ripping it in and managing the wrist angles on the downswing, or modify it with more mid-lift with my arm on the backswing.
Yeah, we'll certainly cover that base, but from a ball control standpoint, where are things at in your 2 practice sessions?
Yeah, good. I can feel the tendency when I strengthen the face continually down to P6. To just lose my exit. You know how for 3 years we worked on exiting more this way and opening up the chest, and I can feel my hesitancy because I've probably played from a weakening face from 6 to impact for so long that I'm starting to. I want to kind of right tilt hard and release it. So
to help you save time and positioning of the face.
Right. So then it feels like, okay, I'm able to do it a lot, but I'm hitting a lot of overdraws, which is expected, which probably means I'm doing the wrist thing correctly. And like surprisingly hitting it well to where it's like, oh, I probably should sign up for a tournament in the next month, but I kind of don't want to rush back into it either if I'm not feel like I've crossed all the T's and dotted my I's, but I'm probably going to sign up for one in 3 or 4 weeks, just so there's something on the calendar, you know?
Yeah, I get it. So, just striking today? We're just striking?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just full swing.
All right, pitching wedge. Let's roll. Launch direction 1 to the right, spin axis -3. Nice roll. A little straighter launch direction that time. To what would you attribute that? More face or a shift in the path?
It felt like my hand path shifted left.
And then the data point we'd be looking to confirm that might be that impact path, yes? Yeah, it was half the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That felt like the first one.
That was much closer to the first there. Nice job. Change to 8-iron. Center strike like the first pitching wedge. 1.5 degrees.
Yeah.
2 degrees to the right.
That was
There's your ball speed.
More full speed, yeah.
There's your ball speed.
Thanks.
And just relate to me what your box reads in terms of spin axis.
Okay.
And remind me, we've already established a margin of difference, right? This is always a stronger.
It's always 2 degrees stronger.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's 2 miles per hour ball speed slower.
Got it. So if it's 2 degrees more left spin axis, does that mean it's 2 degrees less on the fade side, or is it also?
It's 2 degrees less on the fade side too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just like skewed across the board.
I think it might have been the pitching wedge swing, or it was the 8-iron swing. It was the 8-iron swing, I think, where you said we went full speed.
Yeah, 8-iron.
There was some level of awareness to the chance, right, perceptually, that you didn't accomplish what you were trying to accomplish in the backswing, but it happened in the downswing. Yeah, is that common?
Yeah, like
there's a time delay between what you.
Yeah, like I felt it on the downswing that I probably took it in on the takeaway.
Yeah.
And then I was aware prior to it. Anytime I try to hit it faster, I always rake it in more. So I guess, I accepted it prior to the shot. That makes sense.
What awareness about the last 6 on it, very first 6 on, I should say?
It felt like it'd be more in. Yeah, on the takeaway. Like it feels like the first foot is kind of like okay, and then it just kind of gets sucked into that zone. And sometimes on irons at the top, I don't get across like that, but with driver, I start getting way across, and then my swing direction gets way into out.
Define way.
Like ends up being like 4 or 5 degrees into out my swing direction, and then that was like when we first started together, where I start overdrawing things too much.
I got 0.4, 145.
Okay, how's ball speed's the same? High toe.
Just single instance.
Yeah, the high toe.
Fat I shouldn't be concerned with.
No, yeah.
One off the grass, please.
Yep.
All right, come on in. So you showed me a series of swings there, 5 drivers, 4 6 irons, 3 or 4 8 irons. And they're all trying to manage some amount of soft sensation, drop the sensation completely.
Just normal?
Yeah. Well, no thought.
Yeah, no thought.
No thought on the lift and the backswing.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just drop that. You can certainly still create a sensation out of transition to the face squaring to produce a ball flight intent. But I just want to see where it goes.
Okay. And then also drop any sort of management up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no management of laying it off and all that. Okay.
None.
Well, get ready.
Yeah. Well, this is what we need to test, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll have a conversation about ballast on the balloon.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? Ballast for the balloon? Yeah. You know what ballast is, right?
No.
Okay, so a helium balloon. Right, it's filled up with helium. It wants to rise.
Right.
What prevents it from rising?
I didn't know that. It's called a ballast?
So typically ropes.
Or
holding it to the ground.
Right.
Or weights holding it to the ground. So, well, granted, yes, they've got a different amount of burn that they put in the helium. So they're not going to produce as much hot air into the hot air balloon. Right. But yeah, you can... There's an amount of ballast that I think you're going to need. Just to keep the corridors tighter.
Yeah.
Versus let's just take this approach of allowing whatever you innately want to do. And I think I've got a really good way to describe why you innately want to do this.
Yeah.
But if we just take this philosophy of let's just swing your swing and let it do whatever it wants to do, I think that it potentially gets too close back to what you were describing of when it does get shifted too far in a certain direction. I get big rights and also overcurves left pretty easily.
For sure.
So,
do you remember bunkers? You gave me like 2 bunker lessons, and then best part of my day.
I'm surprised it just didn't need one.
Yeah.
As good as you are.
It's incredible. You gave me a bunker lesson, and it was such a severely different feel.
Yeah.
But once I got it, it's like, okay, I understand because my swing direction needs to be 10 left, and this is the easiest way to do it, you know? And ever since then, it's fine, but I innately want to take it in and up, and then I lay it down and I just wipe it. You know, that's I have to consciously fight that.
Yeah.
And it's functional, you know?
Okay, so this is brain off backswing here, yeah?
Yep.
And now we want one of those with the driver.
Okay, that is super common what I just did when I feel that.
Yeah, and super common just for the purposes, because I didn't get any impact out on it, but I did see what the ball flight did. You would describe that ball flight as what?
It was push fade. Yeah, push fade.
All right, one-time driver.
Yep.
Then we'll have a chat.
Okay.
We'll come to terms with what the ballast feel is.
Right. How many ropes I need?
Exactly. Ropes and weights. Yeah, same flight.
Yeah.
Hanger right. High spin, low toe contact.
Yes, everything gets towed, everything goes low in the face.
Okay, so first off, and the question I have for you is how much disassociation do you see out of transition between your lower body motion and your upper body motion?
Okay, not a lot.
Not a lot, is there?
No.
Yeah. So therefore, if that happens, there's a great likelihood that the hand path is drug in which direction? Out earlier, yeah. And so I would say there's a disassociation here, but it's a very soft amount, and I would like it to increase, and here's why. Because I think your reaction to, you can step on this side now.
Yeah.
We'll just go back to the original 6 iron here. Okay, so original 6 iron up. And I'm gonna put the same 6 iron directly on top of it. So now we have 2 swings, but they're the same swing. Because what I wanna tell you here is despite the fact that you are rehearsing what you're rehearsing, which I can show you because I also filmed the rehearsals, like how much of a ballast field you're using in the rehearsals to make sure you find that corridor of movement, if you want to call it that. Despite that, what's hard and fast is the motion going back and the position of the hand path is deviating an extreme amount, And the working theory there is it needs to, because you don't have the disassociation here to ensure that if you don't buy space to the hand path going back, it's only going to be further out, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So if I was going to hit one, and I was like, okay, so you stand down target line and be the coach's eyes.
Okay.
And I'm arguing that you need depth here, and so you're accomplishing that early depth because your brain knows that you're about to create this transition, which is pelvis rotation, rib cage rotation going together, and as fast as you are, you're not getting the hand path down soon enough, and so therefore you're going to appropriately bank as much depth as you can because you know you're going to be at a deficit coming down.
Yeah.
So then if I just did the opposite, not the opposite, if I just took away that first piece, that match-up piece for the delivery, and out of the delivery, this is what we get.
Yeah.
Right, we get a swing direction. Take a look at it. Not that you would shank it like I just did. But we get a swing direction that's nine left, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're trying to strengthen the face, and then this force out here is one of those forces that prevents all of this from kind of kicking in. So this actually negates your attempts to doing this.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Yeah. So that hand path shifting out in abundance
Yeah.
through the lack of disassociation, the separation between your lower and your upper, creates a complication in terms of achieving what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so then the more we rip it in,
Yeah.
then the more you're encouraging this to happen, the more you get that block to the right.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the relationship
Right.
we've got right now. Okay, so here's 2 years ago. This is right after you finished, I think, second or third in New Mexico. Was it Mexico? Yeah. So yeah, your today's is even more on top there than you were back 2 years ago. And so that delta is probably 2024, fall of 2024, the difference between hand path through the middle of the backswing and then the downswing, maybe 2 inches. But now it's closer to probably 7 or 8 inches, isn't it? Yeah. And if we look at the disassociation here, I didn't even look at this. Take a look. Is there more? No, it doesn't look like there's very much more at all. But you were still able to accomplish a tighter hand path. So
Probably more left arm lowering.
yeah, the speed of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just filmed the rehearsal. Right. And how much of that are you actually accomplishing though?
None.
None of it.
Yeah.
Just none of it. And then there's deviation, meaning when you take all thought away, you do an even worse job with it, right? So that
it gets
thought
even
needs to be
worse.
there, that thought needs to be there, and your ongoing monitoring of that also needs to be there. So here's the project. I want us to actually accomplish what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
One, we can certainly block some of that early movement. And then I want us to work on a sensation of that hand path coming deeper because we're holding our rib cage a little longer close to the target.
Yeah.
Does that seem doable?
Yeah, super.
Okay, plug and play. Let's plug and play.
It's all thoughts that I've been like unable to articulate, but I've been noticing how much my hand path's been moving out, and it's bothered me just visually.
Yeah.
You know.
You wouldn't see that same shift in hand path from Xander.
No.
And the reason he won't have that same shift in hand path, even though he's, let's say, buying space here, the reason he doesn't have that is he works into so much side bend and stays close. So you see he's from down target line. Go back to that video.
He has a lot more
chest back.
Yeah.
A lot of chest back. Yeah. Which is why the finish is also.
That's why I look narrow sometimes too, probably from my face on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Go back. Demonstrate it for me. All right. Turn that backswing field to 10. Do as much as you possibly can.
Okay. And hit it.
Yeah, of course. Okay. And now add me a rehearsal to that backswing rehearsal, right?
Okay.
I'm going to hold my chest like Xander does, and I'm going to bury that hand path down close to my right hip belt loop.
Okay.
Demonstrate it. Turn it to 10, turn it to 10. Exactly. Here we go. Do that. That is you from fall 2024.
That feels so much better.
Say again?
That feels so much better.
Good.
Keep hitting or watch?
No, watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So doing something for a few reps, it's like trying on a new hat.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna try a few on, look at the
Yeah. Like
you can always take it off, exactly, and put on a different hat.
Right.
It's not permanent, right?
Right.
A haircut, you get a haircut, you look at yourself in the mirror like, that's gonna take a bit of time to grow out.
Right.
Tattoo, it's basically permanent. Yeah, you can get other stuff done to surgically remove it, right? So therefore, we shouldn't leave it very long before we audit the outcome of the action.
Right.
So you're applying an action, a combination of two feels. Describe them to the camera. What's the first feel?
So I feel like I take it back 5 inches, and then it's just as much lift as possible on the backswing through like P3. And then in transition, I feel like my hand path dumps deep behind my right thigh while I keep my back to the target. It feels kind of like my rubber band is stretching as my hips turn.
Nice.